Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It's lovely to see you all again. As always, as promised, my friends, I do have my ethnicity DNA test results here, which I promise to share with you all. Now, as I'm a man of my word, it's always important to keep to your word. When you promise something to someone, I am going to go through these results with you. Now, one of these tests, I guess you don't know. If you don't know, you've been living in a cave somewhere. One of these tests entail logging onto like My Ancestry or MyHeritage or some other website, and they send you out one of these DNA kits, and you get one of these little like pokey things. It's like a cotton bud, to clean your ears with, but you have to scrape the inside of your cheek for about a minute or so, something like that. And then once you're done, you stick it in this little test tube thing that gets sent with some liquid in it, stick it in an envelope, post it back to the people, and then you wait, I don't know, about 4 or 5 weeks, I think I've been waiting for these results. And then they tell you on an estimate all the types of heritage and ethnicity you actually spawn from, whether you are a true blood Englishman or you are something of a half-breed, a mongrel, so to speak. Now, when I initially sent this off, I was hoping I'd be some kind of reincarnation of Alfred the Great or someone like that, some powerful Anglo-Saxon warrior. Now, I've gone through these results before doing this video, and I have to admit, guys, I am a little bit depressed and a little bit disheartened. Although I have to say, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Let me tell you that. So, enough waffle, my friends. Let's just jump straight into these results. We'll quickly go through them, and then, we'll have a quick chat about it at the end. So, let's have a goosey here. Now, what I've done here, my friends, is I've set up the website from the lowest percent of my mongrel blood to the highest percent of my mongrel blood, and there, just go on from there. So, according to this website, as you can see, my friends, I am 1.4% Dutch. I'm not quite sure where that has sprung up from. I do enjoy a Heineken lager, maybe it's something to do with that. I used to religiously drink Heineken as I was growing up in my late teens and early 20s. Maybe it stems from there. I don't wear clogs. I'm not overly fussed about daffodils, cheese, or windmills. So I'm not quite sure where that's come from. But it does say it's largely accurate, these tests. So who am I to argue? And next up, my friends, we have 3.2% Breton. Now that's usually around, it says on the map there, Jersey, Guernsey, that type of place, a bit Frenchy. I'm not a big fan of the French. They don't like me. I'm not particularly keen on them. So we can just leave that one there as it is. I can't stand brie. I don't like baguettes. I like Italian wines. I don't like French wines simply through my bias. But that's another video for another story, another subject, should I say. So 3.2 Breton, 4% Danish. Now I'm not quite sure where this one has come from either, as far as I know. All my ancestors were born and bred in the United Kingdom. So I don't know where this has come from. 4%, I can't stand fucking Carlsberg lager. That's the only thing off the top of my head that I can remember that is Danish. So that's as far as I'm going to go with that one. Now this is the killer, my friends. 16.7% English. This really does break my heart, my friends. I profess myself to be an Anglo-Saxon bloke after all, and I am 16.7% English. Not very good news at all. My heart sank when I saw those percentages. I was like, shit, what's the rest of it gonna be? But luckily, as I say, it's not as bad as it could have been. Some of these tests were done by the lads over at the LotusEaters.com, the podcast at Lotus Eaters, and Carl's DNA was all over the place. Sargon of Akkad was here, there and everywhere, and I think he was a very low percentage English himself, so at least I'm not on my own. I do know he is patriotic and does see himself as English. Just as I do, really, guys. This test, like I say, I'm not quite sure how accurate it is. It says it's quite accurate, but again, I'm no scientist, so who am I to grumble? So 16.7% English. Gutted. So, second, the penultimate one, percentage-wise, is Irish. 33.3%. Now, again, as far as I know, all my ancestors that I know of, my nana's nana, my nana's nana's nana, all that kind of stuff, were all born in Newcastle. So that might explain my highest percentage that I have got on this, but I'll get to that very, very shortly. Irish, yeah, 33.3%. I don't really mind that. I don't mind the Irish. They're good drinkers. They like the Guinness. I like my Guinness. And yeah, I like whiskey as well. Jameson, very nice whiskey. So yeah, I'm quite happy with being Irish. Irish stew's quite nice and all, but it's not as nice as a Lancashire hop. So, the top percentage, my friends, Scottish and Welsh, 41.4%. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be knocking around the place wearing a kilt and a sporran, maybe drinking, I don't know, Tennant Super, having deep fried Mars bars, deep fried pizzas. I don't know. I have no idea where this came from. But then again, like I say, some of my ancestors came from Newcastle, and Newcastle is rather close to Scotland, so that's the only thing I could ever think it was. What did confuse me about these, I'll hurry this along, guys, it's not very interesting, I do know. What did confuse me a little bit about these results is the lack of Canadian percentage anywhere, because my mum, who is like the spawn of me, was born in Canada, and so was her sister. They came over to this country when they were very young girls. So I'm astounded there isn't just like a 0% of Canadian anywhere, because, all intents and purposes, I am half Canadian. So there we have it. So yeah, like I say, guys, a bit gutted. I want it to be like a high percentage, 70-80% English. Unfortunately, I'm only 16.7%. I'm not going to change the name of my YouTube channel. I am Anglo-Saxon. I identify as Anglo-Saxon. The word of the day is identify. You can be as who you want to be in this day and age, and I am an Anglo-Saxon. I'm patriotic. I'm proud of my country. I bleed the colours of this country when you cut my veins. So yeah, and I do have white skin, so I'm very, very thankful of that. And luckily I don't have any sort of like African or Middle Eastern blood in me. Thank fucking Christ for that. It does originate mostly in white Europe, so yeah, I've got that on my side as well. So that's basically it, my friends. I do hope you didn't find this too boring. If you want to go and get one of these kits yourselves, they are currently on offer for I think about 30 odd quid on My Heritage. That's where I went. You can get a lot more accurate test result if you pay a lot more money for it, a couple of £100. Some of these DNA tests can set you back, but they do delve a lot more deeper into your strands, your blood and your numbers and your fucking DNA and all that scientific nonsense. So yeah, that being said, my friends, thanks a lot for watching as always. Let me know what you think in the comments. Carpe diem, and I suppose I should say freedom. William Wallace. Never mind. I'm English, not Scottish. See you later, guys. Cheers.